Okay, welcome to Ribbon. This is C# tutorial beginner's guide, and we're in the solo learn basic concepts, and we're working with the Var keyword. So click on that and make sure you're at the first arrow at the top. And the Var keyword is very easy. Okay, it's basically a keyword that's defining this type of data type, and it's using the compiler to determine the data type, okay? And it's doing that automatically. And what I mean by that is if you put var and then your variable name, right? And then you say equals 15, well, we know 15 is a number, but you didn't put integer there. The compiler is going to automatically look at this data and say, and tell you what data type it is. So I'm going to highlight this. You should read that, and I'm going to stop and pause the video. And just like I said before, it's pretty self-explanatory. I'm going to show you an example of a variable in Visual Studio. So if we go back to Visual Studio, just erase all this right here, and we type something like var num equals 10, and we type in console right line. Actually, yeah, console right line should know. And we debug. Okay, and you can see we have number 10. So it guessed the data type. It doesn't guess, it is automatically determined what it was. It saw that it was a number, so it and assigned it an integer. Okay. So let's go back to the question. It says, what is the type of the temp variable? Okay, so what is this? Is this a string, boolean, double, or integer? What data type is this? If you put this into the compiler, what data type is this? Well, we know it's not a string because it's not letters, and we know it's not a boolean because it's not true or false, and we know it could be an integer because it is a number, but what type of number is it? Okay, is it a double? Is it double numbers? All right, so I'm going to pause it and you should be able to answer it. All right, after you've answered it, you should have came out with double because it's two numbers separated with a period. So okay, so it says variables declared using the var keyword are called implicitly typed variables. Implicitly typed variable must be initialized with a value. For example, the following program will cause an error. Okay, so it's saying var num, okay, but there's nothing actually being stored here on that line, so it will cause an error if you put on another line what it is. And it says, although it is easy, and I'm reading down here, it says, although it is easy and convenient to declare a variable using the var keyword, overuse can harm the readability of your code. Best practice is to explicitly declare a variable, which is true. Okay, so if we go back to Visual Studio, right here we have, okay, the variable num equals 10. I would say when you use a variable, it's only for something that you don't know. Like if you don't know the data type for it, then have the compiler read the data for you. So var let's just put num2 equals something like that. You know, you don't really know what that is, and it makes it a little bit easier if the compiler did it for you. So I hope that makes sense. The variable keyword, the compiler will determine what the data is. So let's move on to the next question, and this is, what is the output of this code? Okay, variable, well, var n1 equals true. counts a right line. So I'm going to stop and pause this video and let you answer this. Okay, so after you answer this, it'll be easy to put this in the compiler. You should probably try to think about it before you put it into compiler about what the answer is. But I'm going to tell you, this is going to be an error because it's implicitly typed variable must be initialized, so it must have something down there. So it can't say in the variable name is equal to true. This must all be on one line. So if we take this out and we did something like that, then it'll work. So make sure okay, so that's how it was first. So if we go back here and we look at the answers, it should be error because you can't have N1 declared on a different line. It has to be declared when the code is executed on this line. So if we click, alright, and that is the var keyword. Next is constants.